Indonesia city volunteers bring aid to flood survivors in the cities of Jakarta and Manado. We see how cities work first began in China's Chenzhou and how it has blossomed over the years. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. First up, the Indonesia City chapter has mobilized over 100 volunteers to set up emergency stations and also provide hot meals and relief items to residents affected by the recent flood. While in the province of North Sulawesi, city volunteers provided medical services to residents who were injured when cleaning up their homes. Here in Manado of North Sulawesi, these are the scenes of devastation left behind following the recent flooding. When Pamanas Komandai returned home, little did he expect to find his house in ruins.
The day the flooding occurred, the water came in real quick, so we could only grab the valuable items and rush to the shelter. When we came back, almost everything was destroyed, and only these are still usable if we give them a rinse.
More than a week has gone by since the flooding on January 15th, which inundated many districts in Manado, displacing thousands of residents and leaving them with houses severely damaged.
A total of 535 houses were washed away by the flooding this time, and more than 1,000 houses suffered damage in different degrees.
Jakarta city volunteers arrived in Manado on January 18th to carry out relief work and set up a medical service center in Karamau village of Singkil district. Pamanas Komandai's wife Nelsie injured her leg while cleaning up her home, but luckily medical staff were on hand to help treat her wounds.
Medical assistance like this is a great help to us. Our villagers were particularly happy to receive such medical care from the Tsuji Foundation.
Tsuji's medical station is set up in two of the worst hit villages of Karame and Wawang Nasa. As residents work to clear away the debris surrounding their homes, Tsuji's medical care has been a great help to many.
Some villagers were injured when cleaning up their homes, so we set up a medical station here to help treat their wounds in case they get infected.
In just one day, 6 medical staff served a total of 210 residents. City volunteers say they will continue to set up similar medical stations in other villages to help make the road to recovery a smooth one. Roads have become rivers in Jakarta, and residents can only wade through the waters. As Jakarta is crisscrossed by many rivers, the sudden rise in water levels over the past few days has caused flooding in many areas along the riverbanks. In the village of Kapuk Muara in North Jakarta, city volunteers with the help of the military are delivering aid supplies to 550 residents staying in a temporary shelter. Knowing that residents are in desperate need of rice, water and baby products, volunteers speed up their pace as they load the relief items off the truck. Volunteers quickly pass on a new set of baby clothes to this mother seeing her child is wet from the rain. They also hand out Jingsi books to children who are unable to go to school due to the rain. Residents seeking shelter at the school are small in number, as many are stuck at home not knowing how to go about their next move. To help, city volunteers are traveling through these villages delivering aid supplies. Besides aid distributions, city volunteers also set up an emergency and medical station at Kapuk Muara, offering hot meals and medical care. City volunteer Chen Haowen has set aside his work since the flooding to help coordinate the relief work.
Though my house was also flooded, I still wanted to come help others.
In Jure Kosambi village of West Jakarta, city volunteers gather at a local recycling station to cook up hot meals for those affected by the flooding. Many residents nearby bring rice and food to donate, including this couple who were once victims of the flooding in 2007.
Our home escaped the flooding this time, so we wanted to devote our time to help other survivors.
The hot meals and relief items are doses of love and encouragement, giving residents the courage and strength to move forward on their path to recovery. Moving to the Philippines on January 21st, city volunteers held an aid distribution for the public servants at the government office in Tacloban, where they handed out consolation cash and relief items.
No drinking. No gambling. Thank you.
2 months following Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to aid needy residents. This time they arrived at the seat of Tacloban city's government to help the city's public servants.
Want to shed a little light.
We want to shed a little light of hope on each household, so that they know they are loved and are not alone.
Florentina lost her sister in the typhoon. Thanks to Tzu Chi's emotional support, however, her pain from losing a loved one has been temporarily relieved.
I know you would always be there for us to help us. Now I know that I really felt that you really have the love. It's not the money that you gave, but it's the love that.
The importance of this car is to remind our family and our children that on November 8, 2013, we were devastated by Typhoon Haiyan.
2 months have passed since the typhoon, yet Tzu Chi volunteers are still by the disaster survivors' side, this time lending a helping hand on behalf of Tacloban's public servants.
It has already been 2 months since the typhoon. I didn't expect that Tzu Chi will still be here to help us, so I'm very grateful. Our roof was blown off and we have been using tarpaulins to cover the hole. Thanks to your aid, we now have the money to fix our roof. Thank you, Tzu Chi.
As aid recipients receive Tzu Chi volunteers' aid, they find the strength and means to rebuild for brighter days ahead.
As part of Tzu Chi's medium to long-term recovery plan for Typhoon Haiyan survivors in the Philippines, a group of volunteers have begun to survey the areas near Palo and Tanawan in search of suitable locations for the installation of prefabricated housing. Let's take a look.
How helpful has Tzu Chi's consolation cash been in helping residents rebuild? Norma is using it to repair her roof, while others are using it to start up a small business along sidewalks.
Now that they have Tzu Chi's consolation cash, they will be able to carry out repairs and can settle down with peace of mind.
With Tzu Chi, residents know they will always have a shoulder to lean on. Now that the short-term relief efforts have come to an end, Tzu Chi will soon implement its medium to long-term recovery plans. From the sky, this piece of barren land could possibly be the next site for Tzu Chi's prefab houses. Back on land, Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter Director Alfredo Lee wastes no time in finding a suitable location. Not satisfied with the location, they try again. After 3 days of surveying various sites, they finally came across a plot of land in Palo provided by a friend of the town's mayor.
It's only 2.5 kilometers from here to the city center. Traffic is convenient as well. If they want to find a job there or start up a small business, it's all very convenient.
1 hectare of land, less 30% for public space, leaves around 7,000 square meters of land, which can accommodate approximately some 300 prefab homes.
If we can install prefab homes here, it would be a huge step forward for the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter.
Here in Tanawan, residents may no longer enjoy the ocean view right at their doorstep, as the white demarcations have been designated by the government as uninhabitable. Having lost their homes to the typhoon, these residents need a new shelter.
It's very nice for us because we have no place to stay, so we are thankful to Tzu Chi.
Despite the oceans having scarred the land, residents here have found the courage to face the future and know with volunteers by their side, they can weather even the greatest storms.
While Tzu Chi carried out disaster relief in the Philippines, Tacloban, bags of instant rice were also given away to flood survivors as part of the aid packages. As the sisters at Sacred Heart College were having trouble reproducing the same delicious taste, Tzu Chi volunteers were invited back for a special cooking lesson.
In the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers once again returned to Sacred Heart College in Tacloban, this time on a special mission. As it turned out, the school sisters are having trouble reproducing the same flavor and texture. when preparing the instant rice received from Tzu Ji.
When we tried to prepare the instant rice ourselves, what came out tasted quite different. So our students said perhaps the instant rice we received was counterfeit.
Obviously, it is the same instant rice. Then what is the secret to making it delicious?
Since the first relief group arrived to cook the instant rice, we have been constantly upgrading our quality, and we make sure to pass on our experience to the next team. So the taste and quality of the instant rice is the same throughout the whole of Tacloban, and Typhoon Haiyan victims all love it. When they see us giving out instant rice, they get very excited. Add some oil and make sure you have the right amount of water, and it will taste like fried rice. It's very fragrant.
Apparently, besides adding just the right amount of water, a bit of oil is needed as well. There are still a few other tricks to help make this simple dish taste great.
So you didn't know about the adding oil part? And you didn't know that you are supposed to stir it regularly like this? You just let it sit there and simmer?
The school's principal makes time from her busy schedule to come learn personally. She even takes notes.
We want our students to know and experience 100% of what Tzu Ji has given us. Most importantly, we want them to know that many people are here to cheer us on, so that they have the strength to stand up and move on.
To help students feel the love from around the world and the thoughtfulness of Tzu Ji volunteers, the school sisters invited volunteers back for this very special lesson.
I think I got it now. Are you going to come back later and test me? You're not serious.
Tzu Ji's work began to take root in Quanzhou, China in 2008. As most families here are pious Buddhist and speak the Minnan dialect, they quickly accepted Master Zheng Yan's teaching with open arms. Today there are over 1,000 local residents actively supporting Tzu Ji's cause.
In China, praying to the Buddha is a daily practice for most families in Quanzhou. Do good deeds and refrain from evil is a common belief here, and is how locals conduct themselves.
In Quanzhou, almost every family here worships Guanyin Bodhisattva. Everyone here chants Amitabha.
55% of Minnan descendants in Taiwan can trace their root back to Quanzhou. They even share the same language and culture. A businessman from Taiwan, Liu Tianchuan, who has been here for decades, has experienced this connection firsthand. Liu was the first Tzu Ji seed in the city. When he first arrived, he was drifting without a home. Finally, Liu met Tzu Ji and found his purpose in life. Hoping to share his enlightenment with others in Quanzhou, he had to start from square one.
It started with one family, then two, slowly inspiring many moving stories.
It started with home visitations in 2008, then recycling, and then scholarship programs. One step at a time, it has now been 6 years. Tzu Ji's good deeds and the use of Taiwanese dialect quickly won locals over.
The Minnan area has really close ties with Taiwan, so the Bodhisattvas here can easily understand Master Zheng Yan's words. Our environmental volunteers are so pure and pious. Quanzhou used to be called the land of Buddha, so many families here are devout Buddhists. Because of such a foundation, our Bodhisattvas are really pious.
Offering a cup of hot ginger tea and helping the elderly rub on Vaseline. Even though the weather is cold, hearts are warm. This is the 5th year of Tzu Ji's winter relief distribution. Sincere compassion has given birth to many inspiring stories. Each relief package handed out holds endless blessings and gratitude, inspiring more residents to join Tzu Ji.
This was once called the land of Buddha, where holy people walk the streets. We hope one day another couplet may read, "This is the land of Buddha, where Tzu Ji volunteers walk the streets."
Staying in China but moving to Kunming City of Yunnan Province, we meet two volunteers, Liu Ying and Wang Qingjiang, to learn how they have changed for the better since joining the Buddhist NGO.
Here at the Tzu Kunming office, volunteer Wang Qingjiang focuses on practicing sign language with her fellow volunteers. Whenever at the office, Wang tries to learn as much as possible.
进馆以后呢，先跪腿，然后摆出来，跪好腿，好不好？跪蛙泳腿，清楚了吗？
Taking off her Tzu uniform, Wang Qingjiang applies herself to her job as a swimming coach. Over the years, due to their diligence, China's swimmers have been outstanding in international competitions. However, instead of applying strict discipline to train her students, Wang instead integrates Tzu's humanitarian lessons.
软实力呢，还需要轻柔细语。
If we talk to our students in a soft tone, I believe they can better understand our requests. Once you show them your love and compassion, you don't need to use a stick to spur them on. They can sense your devotion and effort and will happily listen to you.
他就会容易配合。
With Wang's compassion, encouragement, and kind words, her students find learning to be a joy.
人有无限的可能。
Our potential is unlimited. That means when you're exhausted, you shouldn't give up, but should keep striving.
要让大家要做到坚持。
Combining sportsmanship with Tzu's brand of beauty and kindness, Wang Qingjiang diligently devotes herself to the Tzu path. Also making the most of her commitment to Tzu is media volunteer Liu Ying, who recently spent $5,000 on camera equipment.
主要还是从
Before, I loved to buy clothing, but since I've joined Tzu, I've gotten rid of that habit and have saved a lot.
觉得节省了好大部分。
To skillfully capture the moments of truth, kindness, and beauty, Liu Ying seizes every chance to learn from Taiwan's media volunteers.
就是以后照相的过程当中，就是
When we take photos, our goal is to reveal our subject's state of mind so that we will be able to provide them with the help they need.
然后来，你才能去真心的去帮助他们。
Other than photography, Liu Ying also excels at flower arrangement and often decorates the Kunming office with some of her recreations. She says that Tzu's humanitarianism is what now gives her life meaning, and her commitment to that path is unwavering.
Since 2011, Tzu volunteers have provided 68 needy students in Ninghe County of Tianjin with scholarship support. Prior to every Chinese New Year, Tzu volunteers also hand out winter aid supplies to the students' families to help them celebrate the holiday in style.
For the third year, Tzu volunteers are awarding scholarships to needy students in Tianjin's Ninghe County. Through enacting the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to parents, the volunteers remind the 39 students present to be filial.
It really should be us that says thank you. Tzu volunteers have done much to care for our students, fellow residents and elderly of Ninghe County in the last 3 years. We are very thankful for your assistance.
In the past 3 years, besides the scholarships, volunteers also hold annual winter aid distributions for the impoverished families, inspiring more locals to walk the Tzu path as well.
I keep telling my son our difficulties are temporary, but when we have the ability, when we make a bit more money, we should help others who need assistance.
We wish that there will be more local volunteers in Ninghe County. We plant seed of great love in Ninghe and hope they will sprout.
Tzu scholarship not only gives needy students a chance to continue their studies, but also a chance to break the cycle of poverty through education.
In China's Fujian province, Xiamen Tzu care recipient Yang Xiaodong has returned home for over a month now, following 5 spinal correction surgeries at the Hualien Tzu Hospital in Taiwan. Next, we join the volunteers at a visit to Xiaodong's home. Walking steadily with a 7-kilo bag on his back, Xiamen care recipient Yang Xiaodong cannot wait to show Tzu volunteers his improvement. By carrying a heavy backpack, Xiaodong hopes to keep his body in balance.
一天能够走多久？多几公里？我是推轮椅的话，一天能够走个4-5公里没问题。哦，推轮椅4-5公里。 我最近想去爬山了嘛，爬山，对对对，背包去，
Mountain climbing is something that young Xiaodong, a sufferer of ankylosing spondylitis, never thought he would be doing.
Xiaodong has been suffering from arthritis since he was 12. We took him to quite a few doctors, but nothing worked. After others teased him and said he was limping, he never went to class again and refused to see anyone.
Following 5 spinal correction surgeries at the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital in Taiwan, Xiaodong has been back home for a month and a half. He continues to improve every day and now even helps his mother with household chores.
He wasn't like this before. He used to take his anger out on me and hit me. He's a changed person now.
To avoid meeting anyone, particularly strangers, after Tzu Chi volunteers started visiting him, he gradually became more at ease with people.
Besides the improvements to his health, young Xiaodong has also become a more positive person and now vows to reciprocate his mother's unconditional love in any way he can. As the Chinese New Year draws near, parents and students of the Parents-Child class in Taipei City's Zhongshan and Datong districts visited store owners in their local communities to deliver spring couplets and Jingsi aphorisms, as well as extend their New Year's blessings.
With Spring Festival couplets in hand, parents and children take to the streets in Taipei City's Zhongshan district to extend their blessings to local residents at the onset of the Lunar New Year. Even though volunteers are not here to make a purchase, shop owners nevertheless give them a warm welcome, as they know the spiritual nourishment Tzu Chi volunteers bring is far more rewarding than monetary profits.
It's my first time taking part in this event. What's meaningful is that by speaking words of kindness, we're extending our blessings to others. What I also learned is that even if the store owners turn us down, we can still give them our blessings.
Young and old, everyone conveys their best wishes to shop owners and passers-by. In the process, students inadvertently overcame their fears of interacting with strangers.
This is quite a new experience for me because we got to visit each store and say nice words. Such interactions have allowed us to form good affinities with others.
Through the distribution of these couplets, we are not only creating a cycle of goodness today, but this goodness will last for 365 days. We can form affinities with everyone every day.
Volunteers, parents and students have, through their heartfelt blessings, added a touch of warmth to their community this winter.
In the United States, the story of how inmates donated 21 bottles of coffee and 4 sets of stamps to the Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters to help flood survivors in the Philippines has went on to inspire participants at a recent year-end blessing ceremony held at the Tzu Chi El Monte Liaison Office in California. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.